Hey guys, today I've got some rapid fire tips and advice. I'm going to try and tell you 10 things about writing a musical, especially if you are writing your first musical. So, number one is ask yourself, is something a barrier to you writing the musical, or is it just an excuse? Okay, so it's really easy to think, oh, I can't possibly write it yet. I haven't researched enough about how to actually write musicals. I can't write this music yet because I can't afford to get this really fancy music software. You know, all of these things that come up, they can feel like barriers, all right? But ask yourself, is this actually a barrier? Or is it an excuse that I'm making to not write? Okay, at the end of the day, you just have to write it, and writing is free, right? All you need is a pen. Number two, choose the best form for your project, okay? So if you're writing a musical, it's really easy to think, okay, I'm going to be writing a 2.5 hour show. It's going to have act one, interval, act two, but that's not necessarily the case, okay? Things like Come From Away, which have no interval, shows that are shorter shows, it could be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, okay? I really want you to think about what form best suits your project, not only in terms of what your project is about, okay, so the content, but also what's achievable for you as a writer and what are you aiming for. When I first started writing musicals, I would be aiming for about the hour mark, okay? I didn't want to overwhelm myself with a 2-3 hour show, okay? I was aiming for an hour, and that was a really great way to start. So think about what you're going to aim for. Number three is to know your genre, okay? So a lot of new writers want to be like reinventing stuff and be like, my project doesn't have a genre and it's something that's never been done before. But I'll just say, find the genre that most closely aligns with what you're trying to create and know your genre. Be comfy in that genre. It's not a bad thing to truly lock into a genre. Once you know it, research everything you can to do with that genre, okay? Other works that are of a similar genre, yeah, I want you to know that genre inside and out. And what this allows you to do is to deliver on the expectation of that genre. What I mean by that is the audience is going to have certain expectations based on the genre that they're viewing. If they are watching a horror musical, they are going to expect certain things to happen. If they're watching a romantic comedy musical, they're going to expect a wedding or for the love interest to get together or, you know, XYZ. If you know your genre, you will be able to deliver on those expectations so that the audience feels satisfied, but you will also know those things so well that if you want to subvert or if you want to change things up and do something different, you will know the rules before you break them, okay? You can't break the rules if you don't know the rules in the first place. Number four is try to make every song catchy, okay? Even the slow ones, even the ones that are just, you know, driving the plot along, you want every single song to be catchy if you can. Just because a song is slow does not mean it can't get stuck in your head. Okay, don't think, oh, this song doesn't really matter so much, I'm not going to spend as much time on this one. Try and make every single song the best it can be, and I really try and make every single song catchy. Number five, when you are song spotting, so figuring out where to place the songs within your script, make sure that you switch it up between who is singing the song and what type of song it is, okay? So don't have the main character sing 4 solo songs in a row and, you know, then have somebody else sing 3 songs in a row. Don't have 4 ballads in a row, even if they're sung by different people, okay? You want to be switching up who's singing the song, what types of songs. So have a solo song, have an ensemble song, have a duet, have another solo song, have a little trio, have a big ensemble song, you know? And you also want to switch up what is happening in the song. Have a ballad, have a fast-paced song, have a patter song, have this song. If all of your songs are of a very similar style, still think about, is this song fast? Is it slow? Is it in a major key? Is it in a minor key? Is it dealing with this theme or is it dealing with this theme? Is it dealing with the A story? Is it dealing with the B story? You really want to vary it and not have too many things in a row, okay? Some musicals really suffer from this, and you can mostly tell when you're listening to the soundtrack, okay? So list out all your songs as if it was a soundtrack and take a look at that. Would that be a fun and interesting soundtrack to listen to? Are we jumping around the story enough? Are we varying the music enough? You want it to be an interesting listen. 6, take each scene to the furthest point possible, okay? Don't be boring, don't be bland, don't play it safe. It's so easy to do, but try and take each moment of drama to the furthest point, okay? If 2 characters are having a fight, okay, don't just have the character slap the other character. Can you have them choke them to the point where they nearly die, okay? What would be the most dramatic point to take this to? And it doesn't just have to be serious scenes like fighting or whatever. It could be a couple having an argument, okay? okay? This came up in one of my most recent shows. A couple were having an argument, and it was just like an argument, right? Well, can this be full-on yelling argument, they nearly break up? Like, how can you take each moment of drama and each moment of tension to the furthest point? Even if you don't end up including this version, I think it's still a really fun version to write. Write the version where it takes it to the furthest point, because remember, you are writing a musical, okay? You're not writing a TV show or a movie where it's very close up and you can see a lot of the emotion on the faces. You're writing something that's big. It's for the stage, okay? So think about that when you are writing the drama in your scenes. Similarly, for the comedy, take each comedic moment to the absolute furthest point. It will really make it amazing. Which brings me to number 7, do not be naturalistic, okay? If you are finding yourself writing a very naturalistic story, ask yourself, is it a musical, okay? Maybe it is a movie, maybe it is something else, but a musical, something that is on the stage, it is not naturalistic, right? People don't actually break out into song, and it's really fun if you can find ways to lean into that, okay? Can you use puppets? Can you use flashbacks? Can you use direct address, breaking the fourth wall? What can you do to make this even more non-naturalistic, okay? Those musicals are the ones that really blow me away because they lean into it and they find some incredible creative ways to tell a story on stage. Number 8 is to just start working with layers, okay? So if you haven't written much music in your life or you're not confident in the music writing, just think of it in terms of layers, okay? So get your melody, write that out, whatever, record it, and then all you want to do is think about the next layer, okay? What can go underneath the melody? Even if it's just, again, one note doing something, then the next one, because all music is layers, okay? If you look in sheet music, if you look at a piano part, it's layers, one note stacked on the other, different notes doing different rhythms at the same time, okay? That's what harmony is. It's just layers, okay? So start with your melody as your most important layer, and then just find a way to start layering very, very simple things underneath it, and that is how you start building music. So just think of your music in terms of layers. Number 9 is don't keep it a secret that you're writing a musical, okay? Tell other people, because then it'll help keep you accountable. They might check in about it. They might ask you about it. It's fun to then discuss it with other people and bring them into the process. You might be able to get feedback from other people, which some people don't like, but I personally do like. I've learned how to take the feedback that's going to be useful and leave the other stuff behind. Like, it's a non-issue. I can just take those little gems and it can really, really help. But the biggest thing is people who don't share their idea because they're worried somebody else is going to steal their idea, okay? This is such a non-issue, especially when you're just starting out, okay? It's not like your idea is so good that somebody else is going to steal it and make $1 million, okay? Even with the best ideas, the best resources, people who are already doing the thing, it is so hard to make money in this industry and to actually have things take on. So, you don't have to worry about that, okay? Share, be very generous with your ideas and trust other people, okay? Share and trust. And number 10 is to try, if you can, to create something yourself. And by that, I mean, if you can, put on your own show, okay? Nobody is coming to do it for you. You can work very hard to get a producer, but if you can put it on yourself, that is great. Now, producing an entire show might not be accessible to everyone. So I'm not saying put on your own show, but just try and create something, okay? So some other ideas for that could be to create a demo album, just you singing all of the songs as an album. You've then got that as an asset, okay? You can send that out to people or producers. You might just want to do one song. I'm going to make one demo song. Amazing. That's a great thing to send along with a script. It could just be a script. I want to have a script. I want to format it really nicely. I'm going to print that out. I'm going to have that. You've got a script. You've got that as an asset forever, okay? So if you can create something to do with your show, it could be concept art, it could be a mood board, it could be whatever, but if you can create something yourself, that is absolutely fantastic. And they are my top 10 tips. I tried to go as fast as I could, so I hope they're really helpful. And if you have any other tips, please let me know below.